YouTube. Let me get my finger out the way. There we go, YouTube. Crown Vic Nation. Sorry about the finger anyway. What's going on, Crown Vic Nation? I am back, and what do we have? What? After all these years, he got a laptop? You gotta be kidding me. YouTube, I finally made a step in the right direction. Now, if any of you guys know some of you guys who have done YouTube, I follow other YouTubers. It's no problem to subscribe for me. Some guys just don't like to subscribe, which is okay. Like I say, this is a fun project for me. I'm not making $1 billion and probably will never make $1 billion off of Crown Victoria content, because of the fact that there's just other popular cars out there. So I'm kind of how the rap industry is. You got your mainstream guys, Mustang, Dodges, Dodge Chargers, Mustang GTs, and I'm an underground artist. I release mixtapes. I do okay. Appreciate everybody who sticks around. But I'm like one of them underground guys. I'm not the guy that's in front of your TV every minute. Which is okay, Like I say, this is just, I did take a little bit of a break to figure out some things, and see what I want to do. The quickest way to get my enjoyment, which is I should tell Crown Victoria guys, get some enjoyment out. Just because you own a Crown Victoria and you have to put a couple $1,000s in your car, don't look at it like that. Look at it like, hey, I'm going to be happy when it's done. I don't care if you get 10, 20 horsepower. If you ask me, Ford should have put the 4-valve in there, but that's a whole nother topic, and then these things would have been, the value, I'm probably would have been at almost 12 grand right now for even the cop car ones, but, people get the cheap Crown Vics. Oh, I don't want to put $2,000-$3,000 in there because I'm getting little returns. Well, why would you buy one anyway and then complain? It just doesn't make sense. I don't know anybody that went and got a Crown Victoria and said, oh, shit, I got it because it was quick. Yeah, okay, so you know what you're getting into. So that's beside the rant that I wanted to talk about. As you know, I have a built motor, 12-in-1 compression, cams, converter, and everything. I'm going to swap it in that Crown Vic that I showed you guys the other day, and I'm going to end up priming the engine probably sometime tomorrow or later on in the week, to make sure I got oil everywhere in the system, and then I'll probably turn it a few times. That way I know the cams, even though they have plenty of assembly lube and everything, that's fine. But I just want to make sure that engine oil, is through the engine. And this will help me. There was a guy who had a 3-valve. That's the other part to it right there. That will be the inlet, and this will be the outlet of the oil. And this goes to the oil pressure sending unit. And what I have on order is a oil pressure gauge. That way I could do a pre-crank of the engine, make sure I have oil pressure before I start it up. Even though I know some people say these engines build pressure really quickly, that's fine. But just to give myself an extra peace of mind, I did buy a digital oil pressure gauge, and I'll have that coming up soon. That way I know I build pressure, and I have a T. That way I can either put the T fitting here, which will hook the oil pressure gauge and the factory sending unit up the top, or I could just remove this plug, put that up there, and boom, have this and all that coming out the bottom. So and virtually I'll put like a little screw clamp fitting here and go ahead and prime the engine with engine oil. I'll probably I think there may be 3 quarts, something like that, 3 quarts. And obviously I'll put the oil filter. I have the STP filter for break-in, and then I have the Motorcraft over there for once I'm out of the break-in period. I also have a catch can, which is going to need a little bit of modifications. I'm going to have to get online and order some hoses, because the ones they sent me are just too small to fit on the crankcase ventilation or positive crankcase ventilation hole. The hose they sent me is just too small. This is the hose they sent me with it, just thick, but just way too small to fit on to that fitting. So I'm gonna have to get online and find another hose, and hopefully everything can get here before November, and I can get all this going. So I do have a brand new starter over here. As you know, I might try to go and get the bong put in for the wide band. I might go get that hole pushed in there sometime, and I probably plug this up temporarily. That way, when I get the car back, I can go ahead and run the oxygen sensor, and I'll have to find a way to place it coming out of the vehicle. So I have to find a spot for it. That way I can properly, use it. So this is also the cable that hooks to it right here. It goes in there. So I'll have to figure out a way to get that all mounted in there. First time doing it, so I have to figure out a way. And also, let me talk to you guys. I know I put this on a previous video, but for any of you guys who are wondering how I use, this is the personal products. I think I got this for maybe $30. The Trick Flow one is about maybe $100, 70 to 100. And what I did, I went to a shop and said, hey, could you tap the holes in this F-150 throttle body? So, as you know, they tapped the holes in there, and they was able to place it in there in a perfect position. And all I did for this one I got as a MPT and a barb fitting, and this one I was thinking about switching it over to a barb, but I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna see how much some hose cost, or I might hook it to a barb fitting in order to run the catch can. And as you can see, I simply cut them off of here, JB welded them into here. Simple as that. I didn't have any issues out of this. I would definitely state it probably needs a tune. It ran fine in drive, but in park it hung a little bit. So I would say a tune is probably the best way to go. That way it don't hang like that. Where you rev it, go hing, instead of just go ring and come back down. So I would definitely state it probably needs a tune to make sure it's optimized. So that's that. And as you guys see right here, what I plan to do, and if you ever open up your Crown Vic, you will see these parts right here. And since I'm doing the EGR delete, this goes to the EGR, I won't need it. I'm probably going to have to put a little bit of sealant behind there around that hole. That way, there's no vacuum leaks. I'll put a little sealant, around this whole little inner piece. That way there is no vacuum leak. The homemade gasket RTV. I'll probably go ahead and do that. That way that is sealed perfectly. There are no vacuum leaks. And what I did was just cut the two pieces off. That way This is the fuel rail pressure sensor. It still gets vacuum. And then what I'm going to do is finish cutting this off and JB weld it. Put some JB weld in there. And probably just spray paint it black a little bit. Put some JB weld, that way it still has a little, I mean, this stuff is about a straw. So it's, you know, it's worth just modifying this versus spending any money trying to get a vacuum hose. Just simply just use this one. I mean, you know, and like I say, I'll go ahead and make sure that's JB welded shut. I'll probably either stick you know, piece of toothpick. I mean, you know, we'll see. We'll see how I feel like I'm going to do that. So that's that, YouTube. Like I say, I'm going to get this stuff. I'm going to have a update for you tomorrow. Like I say, this is a midnight video, a little bit of a scrambled scene here. But like I say, I appreciate you guys sticking around. I'm going to try to get this editing software. Let me know what is your choice as far as editing software. That way I can make some quick, I can cut this video down to 5 minutes instead of be 11 minutes, showing you a lot of movement, a lot of this, a lot of that. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. Oh, and I also should mention for you guys, I do have 35-pound fuel injectors new already. So that's a plus. So YouTube, I'll see you guys next time.